Hey there, my fellow plant and nature lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Or if you're new here, this is the go-to channel for information on how to care for different kinds of plants, flowers, and trees. So let's jump right into our video today.
Hi everyone, it's Lori here. And today we're going to talk about the neon pothos. Now, like most pothos, this is a trailing plant. It is winter time right now, and so the growth has slowed just a little bit. It's a beautiful plant, and if you can see kind of the background here, it brings a pop of color into the room, and right now it looks pretty full overall. And this is a super easy plant to care for, and I'm very happy that I got it. If I bring this a little more into the light, you can kind of see the colors, the neon green colors. It's just a beautiful plant. Pothos. This has about a moderate growth rate, and when it's in lower lights and also cooler temperatures, which sometimes in the winter, obviously, that would make sense that you find that you may have both of those things happening. You will notice that it has a little bit of slower growth. I have noticed this on this one as well. As far as humidity, they love humidity, but they can survive fairly well in drier conditions. So if you start to see them having some browning a little bit, that can be a couple different things. Let's see if I can find a leaf like right there. Sometimes that can be fertilizer. Sometimes that can be if it's too dry. Sometimes with brown spots like this can be from a number of different things, but one of them, it can be if the conditions are a little too dry. So you can easily fix that with putting a pebble tray underneath, or you can just get a humidifier. This crane humidifier that I really enjoy. I really think it's a great humidifier, and it gives good humidity. I also have a plant light here as well, but it gives a good amount of humidity to my plants. Here's some of my other plants. As far as sunlight, they do need more light than the regular pothos. That's important. If they're getting lower light, what you'll notice is that the leaves will be smaller, and also sometimes it will look a little bit leggier, and also you'll see almost like more of a green color versus the neon. So if you do end up seeing that your plant has almost like a greener, more rich green looking color, then just put it in the light and see if that helps it. This one has not. I have not done the best with putting it in the light, but I'm going to try to do more of that. This one tends to like more of a moderate to higher end light, and so I just putting it by the window, that's perfect for it, but not direct sunlight because it will burn the leaves and you might see some brown spots. So in that case, you might want to just kind of bring it back from the windows and kind of put it in an area in your house. Hanging pots are great. I thought about maybe putting one there, but for now I just like kind of setting it. It really adds some charm to the room. The color in general is just a pop of color, a vibrant color. And one of the things that I would recommend doing is rotating it, because a lot of times what will happen is you'll get one side, and you can kind of see that here, that does not grow as much. So make sure that you rotate it, because you can see kind of the back side there that I wasn't rotating as much as I should have been, and so it's a little bare on that side. As far as watering, make sure that it dries out completely. Like right now, it is about due for some watering, but you don't want it to get soggy. That's like most plants, but the pothos can actually tolerate a little drier conditions and do just fine and still look pretty vibrant and pretty beautiful. It does tolerate a variety of temperatures. Right now it is winter time, and so it is a little bit drier. I do have the humidifier in the room, but as explained earlier, when it's cooler, you will see the growth start to slow back a little bit, and I have noticed this on that one as well. As far as fertilizing, worm casting is great. If you put a very thin layer on it, that seems to work just well. You don't want to fertilize it in the fall or the winter time. That's with many different plants, as it's kind of the time for it to kind of not quite hibernate, but kind of just take it easy, and definitely don't fertilize during those times. If you are fertilizing more during the spring and you start to see any kind of brown spots, and sometimes I'll see if I don't think I have any on here, but it may be just on the leaf everywhere or different places, but that could indicate that you're fertilizing too often. And so it's always better to be on the diluted end if you can with fertilizing, just to kind of see what your plant really likes. And so if you see you do not want to fertilize this when it's stressed out, or if it's you haven't watered it in a long time, it's super dry, you want to make sure that you're not fertilizing at that point. And so if you see those brown spots on your leaves, let's see, brown spot here, brown spot here. Mine is probably more from dry air, but you just think of mainly 3 different things. You're going to think of either over fertilizing, dry air, or sunburn from being too close to the windows or direct sun. What will happen if you don't prune, and it may get a little bit leggier looking. And so if you want to look bushier and full, which they do a pretty good job at looking full, even with very little care, I would just cut back and make sure to propagate those areas, because this is a beautiful plant and you can make more of it. And so as far as propagating it, what I want to do is I'm actually going to show you how easy it is to propagate. I have my water here that's been sitting out for 24 hours. And then I have my sterile scissors that you can clean with alcohol. Super important so you don't introduce bacteria into the plant. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 2 nodes, and if I can, let's see here. So here's a node, and then here's another node. I'm going to use this one here probably. It's kind of, I like that if we do about up, I think if we do about up here, we'll probably be okay. All right, then the next thing that I'm gonna do now that I have my cutting, so this is kind of one, I wish that I had one that was not quite as curly as this and a little bit straighter, but what I'll do, and I always hate to, you might want to take the leaves and just kind of display them, but I'm gonna cut off the leaves. If this is a little straighter, it'd be a little easier, but we're gonna still make it work. And so here, I've got at least 2 nodes, which is good, but I'm gonna take the bottom leaves and I'm going to actually just snip them off, because you don't want those in the water because it actually can rot the water. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that leaf there. I have this little cute little cup here, and you could always end up putting it in there and just displaying your leaf for a little bit. I think it's just super pretty. So now that I've got one on the bottom, I'm going to just work my way up, and I'm going to go ahead and clip this one too, trying not to clip too much. And then I'm going to go up to the next one, which is right here, but it looks like there's even some nodes that are growing off that, but you can clip that one. And then you see that you probably have enough room to put it in water, but what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I have this much left. Like I said, it's kind of curly, but I'm gonna go ahead and still clip this one further up here because I feel like that's still gonna get in the water. And then, so we'll just leave 1 leaf on it. And then 1 more clipping to take those leaves, but here you go. Here's all the leaves. Super pretty. You can see the color of the leaves, how beautiful they are. I mean, I just absolutely love this pothos. So I got 1 leaf left and it's kind of curly. And so that's what I'm going to leave it at. And then I've got plenty of nodes on there. You've got 1 here, here, here. And then I'm going to take my cup of water here, and I'm going to, my vase of water here, and I'm going to just put it in there like that and let it hang over, and we'll see how that grows. But yeah, that's how you propagate. And then what you'll see, and I'll show you actually another pothos. So I wanted to show you an example. So even though you know, I put this in here, this is another type of pothos, not the neon, but it gives you the same idea. You can actually see the roots coming off. They're like little white roots. And this one even grew a little leaf. It didn't even have a leaf on there when I originally cut it, but it kind of even looks pretty cool in there like that. I have like a whole bunch of these, and here's another one that I think actually has been growing about the same time. But you can kind of see, if you look in here, I'll go kind of come up pretty close. You can kind of see those little roots that are shooting off there. And, you know, you can have this. I read one place that said that a lady had it for 8 months, and I think I've even had my pothos sometimes propagating for many more months than that. And eventually you're going to want to put it into some soil, well-draining soil, but you got to be careful when you put it in soil. You have to pay close attention to it, because obviously it's kind of a shock to the plant. And so maybe I'll do another video on that, but for now you can basically see, I like to see the roots. I'm really particular about that. It's just kind of cool thing. And so we'll see how this one grows. that's pretty much it for propagation. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more plant and nature info. And
make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can get the latest videos. And of course, if you like this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up so I can know to make more of these kind of videos.